big explosions, character study. So you're a director who just knows more about characters, right? And so you go ahead and you get the main actors and you just film all the character beats. You film their scenes. You get their emotions. Then you have a second unit director, preferably a former stuntman, who knows action. So while you're shooting in first unit, the second unit goes out and blows stuff up. They flip cars. I've worked on second units before, and they're a lot of fun because you get to blow stuff up. You get to flip buses. I did Goosebumps, the movie with Jack Black. I worked the second unit of that. Flipped buses, pulled
Nice.
cars. You do the cool stuff. And so you shoot the action. So if there's a big car chase with no actors, you go shoot the car chase without the main unit. It saves time.
Oh, okay.
It does all that. So this guy,
okay, I get it.
this guy Alan Graff, he's done the replacements, Any Given Sunday, The Waterboy, The Program, and Necessary Roughness, all football movies. So he was the stunt coordinator and second unit director on these. So
I love all those movies.
he knows how to hit people, right? He knows how to really level folks. So I think it's pretty neat that you feel the hits in this movie, big time.
Oh, man. So part of the 14 minutes of the original DVD making of, like, 7 minutes is like, here's why we got some of these actors, and it's kind of cool because it's super young Heath, and like the original like audition tape for Shannyn, and it's like, wow, she nailed it in audition. She sounded almost exactly the same in the movie.
She was
it was
great,
like, holy crap. But the second half was like, listen, Heath is like, I took a hit. I'm not doing that anymore. The stunt guys can do it. And then it's the stunt team, your second team, coming in, and they're like, yeah, we wanted to make it real. And so you do see the guy swooping over like the center divider thing there, getting all the action. You're like, oh my God, that's what the NFL does now for like their replays and stuff. But then they're like, the one guy is like, we got some fun stuff. We're going to drag a guy's going to get tossed on the railing. We're going to flip a guy off the horse. And and you're like, whoa. So yeah, I keep thinking about that guy flipping off the horse, and I'm like, all of a sudden you're going on a horse and then you're just jerked back. Like, you know how many G's you probably, like, that's gotta, I can't, dude. And then I'm thinking about the guy getting dragged, and I'm like, you know, one little divot here and like, oops, bounced the wrong way. And you're like, holy, like, yeah, it was intense, man.
No, I love it.
For a movie that's basically lighthearted, you know, this team was like, we're putting it all into it.
They hired,
it's gotta be real.
Yeah, they definitely hired the correct second unit director on this. There's a lot of bone crunching. I dig it. So hey, how about this? Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we will talk more A Knight's Tale. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And how much did you love Alan Tudyk beating up on Paul Bettany? Watt beating up on Chaucer. I love the headlocks and the punches, and when they're dancing, he's making fun of Watt, and he gets punched right in the nose, and then the next scene, he has a tissue in his nose. It's beautiful. I love, he's just this angry character. And okay, this is what I love too, the ending, right? When William is in the stocks and people are throwing lettuce and tomatoes, rotten tomatoes, hey, they're throwing all this stuff at him, and his team gets in front of him. I like that. And then Purefoy comes in, and your team loves you. They got your back. That says everything about you. That's a good moment. These people, and also, once again, you did not have the, I'm becoming popular now, I'm going to ditch my girlfriend and go with some floozy, I'm going to go with some medieval floozies. Helen O'Hara of Empire calls women she calls them space floozies. So in a lot of movies, there's always these guys with two women. She calls them space floozies. So Heath Ledger doesn't take off for medieval floozies, and then realize his problem. And he's one. I like that. I like that his team has his back. He likes his team. William or Sir Ulrich. He likes them. They all like each other. That's what makes it so watchable, right? It's because this movie is it's never exhausting. It's never 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. It's never too much on screen. It's very laid back. If you look at Dazed and Confused, if you look at Evolution, how laid back that is, I could watch that every day. If you look at Everybody Wants Some, the movies that I can watch over and over and over are the movies that move at a relaxed pace. And
it is like 65 miles an hour over the Sunshine Skyway in late November.
Yes.
You know, like you got the windows down and you're like, how can anything be prettier or feel better than this right now?
Exactly.
Like, you're not going nuts, but it's great. You're just enjoying it.
And that's not a knock on these movies.
No.
I also think these movies just also allow time to breathe. And so I love some very stressful movies. Green Room is one of my favorite movies, right? But I can't watch Green Room a lot because what it does to me.
Oh, there's so many movies I feel that way. And in fact, Halloween is a terrible time for me because there's so many movies. And you know I'm a horror fan. I love horror. But right now, I feel very stressed in general about so many other things. Like, I know Christmas, I would love to watch Krampus right now. It's one of my favorite, but that's going to stress me out.
Yeah.
It's like so much. Or like the Halloween, like, Trick or Treat.
Oh, yeah, Trick or Treat.
Oh man, that's going to kill me right now. It's like, I know I love that movie, but I can't do it because but then there are movies like, this and my wife didn't know this. The other day, she was like, how many times have you seen Coco? I was like, I've seen it like 9 times.
You can watch Coco that much?
Yeah, she's like, you love this movie? I was like, it's one of my favorite Pixar movies. Like, I love
Top 3.
Coco.
Top 3 for me.
It's just so good. There's something so wholesome and warm about it. The music is great. The colors are
Remember me.
Dude, I can't watch that movie without feeling like something. And it's just this time of year that's why I've watched it so much. It's like I can't think of any other Halloween movies to watch. Like Hoobie, I like that one a whole lot. I watched the Disney Halloween that I still got, the old one with I love the windmill scene in that. That gets me every time.
Yeah.
But man, Coco just it's one of those movies that you can I can watch it probably every day, but
Coco's a gut punch though. You have the horrible musician, the dead dad, the emotions with the grandma, almost losing. That movie to me, it's top 3 Pixar for me, but it's so stressful. I can't watch it that much. You know what's funny? Someone recommended that we watch The Great British Bake Off, that show.
Yeah.
And it's very good. It's really endearing. But someone said you'll watch it and you just get so relaxed. It's the most relaxing show. I watch it and I'm a nervous wreck because I don't want anyone to lose. I don't like these people criticizing their pastries. But for me with Knight's Tale, there's nothing stressful about it. And that's not bad. There's nothing bad about that comment right there. It's just a movie that is it's a fun romp. It's enjoyable. It breathes. It's 2 hours and like 15 minutes. You can immerse yourself in the world. You can visit friends you like. They're all endearing. There's moments you pick up on. And I think for me, that's why I like to watch it the most of many of the movies that I watch all the time, because it just like Hot Shots Part 2. No drama in that movie. It just exists.
I was gonna say it's like a John Candy movie. Like what there's no real stakes here. There's just like some people's feelings getting hurt or like some slight or something. That's it. That's that's the stakes of this. Yeah, you got a good point too. Really, it's what's the worst? Let me ask you a question then. What's the worst thing that happens to any character in that whole movie?
In Knight's Tale, the worst.
Yeah. Just
wow.
Of any character, what's the worst affliction any of them suffered?
Wow. Okay. So nothing happens to Watt. Nothing happens to Roland. Kate, he disses Kate pretty hard, and it's annoying. I hate how he goes at Kate. But that's growing pains. That's their first fight. If you can get over that first fight, he comes back to her. He apologizes. They're better off for it. They survive their fight. They both grow up. Then you have William Thatcher, I guess, just being put in the stocks. But it's never that sad. It just happens, and he's in there, then he's out. So, yeah, and I just want to say, this is not a slight to it. And I'm going to tell you, Ant-Man, the reason I can watch the Ant-Man movie so much, there's no drama, really. It's Michael Pena being amazing for 2 hours.
Dude, T.I. does not get enough love for his role.
Back it up. Back. If it walks like duck, talks like duck, It's a truth serum. I want that spinoff on Disney Plus. I really do. I love those. Don't get me started on these guys. Ex-Con.
That would be unbelievable.
Just okay. This sounds weird, man, but any movie that features the lead character dying and then coming back, or any movie that features the guy being too cool and ditching his friends, I don't watch that much. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't. You watch it and you're like, ah. I guess this movie's like a comfort food film to me.
You know, I don't think anybody ended up liking Jon Snow. That's not the person he died. Then he got brought back.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, I know Theon was a jerk, but like, I like that he basically got beat to death and came back. Like, I was like, all right.
His character arc. He had a character.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly. There's an art, you know, or like, yeah, I don't want anybody who has implied superpowers for some reason, you know, even if it's not explicitly stated. Like, oh man, luck was just so good this time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm tired of that because, like, it's 2020.
It's just, for me, I think it's just an evolution, too. Nothing goes bad in that movie either. It's just a fun flick. And I adore that movie, by the way. And I guess that's why I like this movie. It walks a really nice tightrope. It does. And I'm telling you, man, I lived with some rough dudes in college. And all like, anytime, like, them, their girlfriends, their friends, we would have people just sitting down and watching it. I don't know what it is about this movie, but everyone I knew loves it. Like, I don't think one person, remember I put up the thoughts about Knight's Tale. I said, hey, I want to know what you think about Knight's Tale. And I think only one person said, yeah, the 59% is warranted. And I wish I could have gotten more out of it just to sort of learn why. But everyone else is saying, okay, let's be objective.
Sure.
We're movie critics. We're rating this movie. I love this movie. I'd give it 150 out of 100. That's not even possible. I would give it an A and 3 pluses. But we're being objective. Where does this movie fall? Is it fresh? Is it rotten? Like, where would you put this film? For you.
If I could give it a percentage number, because that's the fairest way, I'd give it a 74%.
Oh, wow. How come?
Because I don't like the pacing. I think there's a lot of filler.
Oh, wow.
It does run too long for me, and I do like... But that's the thing, though. It's like, I only start to think about, like, man, I still got 45 minutes left, but then it's like, I'm interested in something else. It's like, I'm a squirrel.
Yeah.
You know, running around. But that's my big gripe about it, really. I think 74% is fair based on the aggregate of you know, the people that don't like the whole music premise and stuff, because you got to give, that's a legitimate gripe. People don't like that. I think that's fair. 74% for me would be totally fair because I love this movie. And listen, I liked Let's Be Cops a whole lot, and that's at like a 30-something.
That movie connected, though. That was a sleeper hit. There's something about that movie that connected, which was very interesting, I would say. I like silly. We talked about Club Dread on our thread today, you know, and like, I can't see the name Penelope without saying Penelope. Hey, can we do Club Dread next?
Yeah, I'd love to do it. Nobody probably wants to do it. I love it. It's just, again,
I got a ton of... I read Jay Chandrasekhar's autobiography, the director of it, the commentaries. We have lots to talk about.
Ramathorn. Jeez, yeah. Are you kidding? I love all those guys. They are the man, Broken Lizard. It's just, they're a comedy troupe. They're awesome. And I love that it's a lot of visions. There are a lot of competing visions. And, you know, I feel like in Super Troopers it came together. I think in Club Dread, sort of maybe got a little, you know, but then the what was the beer movie one?
Oh, that doesn't hold up. Beer Fest.
It doesn't hold up, but I just watched it not too long ago, and I'm like, man, but Super Troopers, it's just, you know, like Office Space. You're talking about movies that weren't popular, right? Like, this got a 59%. And then all of a sudden, everybody you talk to now, is like, I love that movie. I love that movie. You know, and it's like, well, what happened? I think...
HBO, DVD... It was on all the time.
Even you know, but there, yeah, that's true. Saturation probably definitely had something to do with it. But then also, how many? There's not movies that just make you feel better about being a normal person.
Yeah.
Who's just like doing stuff. You know, it's like sometimes you just want to see that. You know, that's what I struggle for. I'm always looking for like, what's that movie that blew my mind? And I'm like searching through every like movie I've ever had, and I'm like, that'd be good. Nah, I don't get into that. But it's movies like this, like something like, for me, like Guardians of the Galaxy or like Thor Ragnarok or like any of the Marvel movies. They're fun. They're just